I'd like to call the East Charter Township Board meeting for May 6, 2024 to order, please. Please call the roll.
Supervisor Westrek?
Here.
Clerk Smith here. Treasurer Hart?
Here.
Trustee Babel?
Here.
Trustee Blackstock?
Here.
Trustee Knotts?
Yeah.
Trustee Richley?
Here.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Agenda approval. I'd entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented here.
So moved.
Mr. Richley. Is there support?
Support.
Ms. Hart. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes, same thing. If you look, chance to look them over. If so, entertain a motion to approve them as presented.
So moved.
Mr. Richley.
Support.
Mr. Blackstock. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Presentations, guest speakers, we have none. Public comment. Anybody wish to address the board? You? Just go to the podium, please, name and address, and just so we can have it on record.
Glenn Spencer, 5500 Point Drive, right over here. I'd like to address the board, and I need your help. We have a broken system called blight and storage. And I feel like I live in an RV park. I can stand in my house, and inside my house, and I can see 3 trailers. I got blight across the street from me, and I got blight behind me. So I'm front and back. The neighbors to the side do a good job. But it's getting, I've lived here 40 years, I'll be 40 years in July in this town, where I live now. And I can just see the neighborhoods, nobody's upholding the codes if we have any. And what codes we do have need to be revamped for the times. These were all cottages at one time, and people just used them on the weekends, and it was just like a free-for-all. And now you got full-time residents, and you got, you know, $250,000 to $1 million homes, and it's if you drive down, some people just don't care about other people. You got trailers parked in the front yards, and we need to come up with, we need to address it somehow.
Have you filled out a
Yes, I have.
complaint? Okay.
And
Excuse me,
I
sir. What?
filled it out on the people across the street twice now. And nothing's happening. People know how to beat the system. And Sandy knows. I had a boat. It's the Schultz's residence. And there was a boat that I had to live with for 20 years until she moved in and sort of helped it along. Now I got the son over there. And there's a van that's been parked at least 10 years and has not moved. It's starting to turn green from the moss growing on it. And then if you drive by and look at the yard, you'll see what I'm talking about. To the back side of me, on tell you the address, Orchard Drive, 5495 Orchard Drive, which is directly behind me, you have a business being run out of there. It's called Tiger Carpet Care. And if you look it up on the internet, that address comes up. We got multi-vans with the company name on it. We got a travel trailer. There's a boat trailer. And if you come, and you guys are welcome to come to my home and walk my yard and see what I'm looking at. Looking from behind, it's trash. Got 2 canoes sitting there. Then I'd like to take somebody for a ride down the canal, because you got where the lot's for sale right here on M29. There's a little home to the north of it. Mm-hmm. It should be condemned, to tell you the truth. I just went down through there. There's a trailer park. I feel sorry for his neighbors. They just bought the home, and it's a well-kept home to the north of them. There's a trailer sitting there. It's got 1979 license plates on it. It's a little trailer. I believe they're probably using it for storage, but the outside's taking a crap, and they threw a banner over the side of it, or taped it onto the side of it, so the neighbors are looking at it. And then there's an old boat stored in the front yard. But this is what's happening. We're just getting I think we need to upgrade, and, if we gotta go to storage units, I don't know, I know some townships or some cities got 3-on-3 or 2-on-2, where on RV campers, you're allowed to bring it in 2 days before you're ready to use it. You pack it up, you use it, and then you got 2 days afterwards to, take it back, you know? But it seems like it's getting worse and worse and worse, and it's something that we need to address.
Okay, I'll look into the complaints that you do have on file.
But the problems are, you know, I got the addresses of that, and I'll fill them out tomorrow. I usually turn in pictures when I do it. They go out and talk to the people, and all they do is shuffle it a little bit, if they do that. And then, I'm assuming, I don't know if they're mentioning names, that's who's filling on it, who's doing the complaining, but they'll put little pictures on their garage, big smiley face on the front door, which I don't care, you know what I mean, but there's only one reason somebody would do that temporarily. But, you know, you guys drive here to this, and you guys probably live in our township, I'm assuming.
We all do.
Why don't we all police it instead of, I'm gonna be the bad guy, which I'm coming down and I'm speaking for a lot of my neighbors because they're all, nobody wants anybody mad at them. Well, I'm retired now, and so I didn't have to look at it because I worked 12 hours, 14 hours a day for the last 20 years. I didn't realize how bad it was getting. But now that I'm not working and I'm seeing it, you know, I'm spending more time at the house, it's, the neighborhood's a riff. And it starts right over here on, and you guys know exactly what I'm be talking about, King Road and Meisner. Corner, the house on the southeast corner. You got a fiberglass boat sitting in the front
Got a
yard.
second one there now. That's in China Township, but yeah.
Been there for quite a few years. I drove by it going to work. You got a red Firebird that hasn't moved out of that spot. That's one spot. And you just work your way this way. But that's what I got to say, and I'd like to see you guys update the codes and sort of help out the people that care about their homes. 'Cause-
Can I get you to leave your phone number before you
Sure.
take off? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Yep.
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming in. I've been putting calls in too. And, they go out, shuffle stuff around, it doesn't happen, you know. I would encourage the supervisor to tell the light supervisor, start issuing tickets instead of just being nice to them.
We
I've
will.
had that problem with ones I've been turning in.
Well, I can tell you the niceness wouldn't be coming from this particular office if that was the case.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
We do have an ordinance that needs to be
Yeah.
enforced.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Okay, Rick Patrick, 5430 Orchard Drive, a blight deal. As we're going, I'd like to give you this picture. What I look at,
And did you fill out a complaint?
yes, I did,
All right,
since March 21st, 21.
okay.
What did he say his address was?
Orchard Drive,
Nice.
I didn't get the number.
The house,
Retirement home.
5430.
the house has been vacant since March of 21, and it's, I have to do this every year. I called you, and you only answered one call out of 8 last year. And they did finally come and mowed it twice.
Yeah,
For
I
the whole
remember
year.
this.
Grass, okay.
That's the house behind you across
That's
the
next
canal?
door to me.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yes, right next door. Deb knows what I'm talking about. The weeds are up on it, the trees are falling on top of the house now in the back by the canal. I pulled branches out of the canal from the tree, and it should be condemned. The floors are rotted out, it's rotted. Water leaked in it for 3-4 days one winter, so I know it's full of mold.
Yeah, that was a question.
It's flooded.
Have laws on the book for vacant properties?
Yeah,
This is,
They do as a township.
yeah,
yeah, this should be,
yeah.
something should be done with it, and I wish, you know, like I say, we've been dealing with this since 21, so, you know, you can keep that.
Well, you write your phone number on here, would you? And your name again, so I can look at that. She's got your name, but
Yeah.
if you don't mind.
Yeah, we did get one tore down 5 years ago, we would tear them down again.
Building too, maybe.
We
building
turned it over
code.
to the building official, and then from there, I'm not sure what happened.
Dangerous building.
They said,
Yeah.
remember that one we tore down over on
Tall grass,
Elmwood
the whole
and
9 yards.
There's animals living underneath.
Yeah.
Main Street?
I know those. Thank you.
Right beside the park. right
Thanks,
beside
Fred.
Manor Park, one in the corner, we had to tear it down. They need to go back over there with the side again.
I'm not familiar with it.
You
I'm at
would remember that, yeah,
5380
we had a lot of trouble
Point
with
Drive.
People wanting,
I'm sorry, what was your name?
I don't know who took public.
My name is
possession of
Pam
this.
Krasinski.
Hi, Pam.
We moved there about a year and a half ago. We love it. But they started doing that water line down the street, which seems like they've been doing it forever. And
You
they're
don't love
on,
that.
we're on the, no, seems like it's forever. My question is, we have a big hole in our front yard full of water. And I've been calling, I called Juvern, and I called somebody from the DPW. Blaine from the DPW did call me back, and I said, my problem is, we just put a new sprinkler system in last fall for $4,000, and it's all tore up. So we had the sprinkler people come out like they normally do and open it up, and they said, we can't do your front yard until that gets straightened out. We'll send you a bill. And then Blaine said, well, why don't you, he said, I'm gonna try to see if we can't get Piper Zach or whomever it is to pay for these things. Well, so far the bill is between $750 and $1,000 to have it revamped. Somebody's got to fill in the hole too. That's the other part. What is the situation with Piper Zach? Why is it taking so long for them to do these front yards?
The best way to answer that is probably the same reason I'm not out in the field planting corn right now. They just finished all the driveways, the concrete ones, last week. Those are all done. They're working on mailbox, putting them back in, putting them right. They're starting on asphalt driveways. All that stuff's done. Then they'll do the rough grading and seeding, and that's coming up now. They're out there now working on all that.
They're
So-
not working in my front yard.
No. Well,
They're not working on anybody's.
they can't, they can't get to everybody's on the same day, but they're gonna start working from the one end and working
What's
down.
the chances we're gonna get reimbursed for
Well,
all the
it-
repairs?
I would caution you about doing any of that work. It's up to them to fix that.
It
And
is,
they
but-
have a person that does that, so I would not take it upon yourself to hire someone to fix that yet. They need to fix that.
When is
And
that
if-
gonna be?
Well, once they rough grade the yard, then they'll fix all the sprinkler systems.
There's nobody's yard getting rough graded.
Well, they're finishing the driveways. Once they're done with all that stuff, they go back to rough grade everything, and then I think it's Sherman that's coming in to do it again. So,
That's not a very good answer, but
well, they're doing the best they can with the weather. Every time it rains, it's 2 or 3 days before they can get back in there again because it's muddy and everything else. But, I got the report from Blaine in here. They know that they're starting to do topsoil and stuff this week. So
this week?
that's what they're supposed to be doing. Yeah, that's what he
Okay.
says.
All right, I'll hold my peace for another
The
week.
grass is growing pretty good, you know.
I know. I get it. I've been knowing you're frustrated.
At least drop some topsoil, clean topsoil in different spots on Point Drive, so we can at least field there.
Yeah. I want them to fix it, but I get it. I know you're frustrated.
It's the middle of May, you're gonna be in the middle of May here in another week. They told us a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, they're waiting for the ground to settle. Well, you didn't have a frost, so when's that gonna?
Yeah.
They got a hell of-
Next year.
They got a hell of a bomb, they're gonna have to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know they finished the driveways and the concrete and stuff like that, and they're working towards them. So if they don't have anything happening here within this week, I definitely will make sure that something's gonna happen. But every time someone calls, we give it to Blaine to kind of handle that. And they get with the engineer and their inspector, and they make sure, hey, it's on the list, make sure to contact these people to get it done. So give us at least another week to make sure that they're out there. You should see them out there. They're out there working, but
Started.
the topsoil is the last thing they do,
That's understandable.
Yeah.
And we do have more rain coming too.
Yeah, it's supposed to rain tomorrow night
Supposed to
again.
have thunder showers tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's supposed to rain all week, but anyway, we're working on it, and I appreciate your patience, because it's frustrating. It really is.
All right. Jim Schaefer here. I am the code enforcer in East China. This is not why I'm here tonight. I'm here for something unrelated. Maybe I can help you guys answer your questions. 5402, Mr. Patrick, there has been a problem over there. There is a work order in place right now. I have been in contact with this guy. This guy is ignoring my phone calls. Last year, it was cut 2 or 3 times by the township, and he was billed for it. Whether or not he paid for it, I have no idea. Yes, the building is terrible. I don't think we have a dangerous building board in place for that, to get that taken down. I know that flooded out back 4 years ago.
We do have an
Let's do
ordinance for
building
board.
code.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yes, yes. And I can't speak for Tracy, but he has been over there, and the guy has pulled the permits to do what he needs to do, but it looks like everything is at a standstill right now because he's not even maintaining the home.
Yeah, so the permits have
So
expired.
I get that. That's the one picture you have, Mr. Spencer. I know exactly what resident you're talking about with the van, and that van does have a legal plate on it, so it does have a legal plate on it. I talked to the lady. She showed me. I have the registrations on it. I have the registrations on
So
it.
just because it's got a legal plate, it's illegal then?
Yeah,
If it didn't have one.
yeah, it's not a disabled vehicle.
I'll guarantee, I'll bet you $1,000 right now, you go over there and tell that man to take you for a ride. And he can't
If
do
it has a legal plate on it, it can be parked there. It's not considered a disabled vehicle. So,
We'll look into this stuff, you guys.
Right.
We don't want to get too much engaged
Right.
tonight on that, but,
as far as running a business out of a resident,
and if we need to tweak something to come up with the times, we'll take a look at it, you know?
as far as running.
I get how you're frustrated with that stuff, and I would be too.
Well, I know the boat did not have a bell, but, or the van, 'cause I went over there and physically checked it. And all they did was take the boat and push it behind the van now.
They showed me, I think I have copies of all the registrations, and that was from last year. So they're probably coming up on this year to get them renewed. Yeah, because you filled out a complaint form on that last year. Somebody did, I know that.
Well, we'll definitely look into it, though.
Right, right. As far as the businesses in the township, and the boats and the RVs, you can drive all around this township. People have everything stored in their yards, boats, campers,
I understand that. That's what I'm concerned
and,
about.
right. Until that ordinance gets changed,
Well, that's why I asked.
we cannot do it, I cannot do anything with it. If it's legally registered, then it's fine at that resident.
RVs,
Good place on it, though.
well, they're supposed to be stored in the backyard.
Because I can take you for a run
Not the
right now,
front.
I just left,
Yeah.
I just left out of my boat
Per the
before I came here,
ordinance.
you know what I was talking about.
Right.
And there's an RV that 2021's off, over there parked,
Okay.
and this trailer that I'm talking about, off of that 29, is 1979, it's a black plate. And I
Okay.
just took the picture, I got pictures of it.
Okay, we can look at it afterwards.
Glenn, can we move on? We'll definitely look into it. I will personally make sure that we get an answer for you on that. And we'll
But
look into
that's
the
just-
ordinances. It'll go to the planning commission if we gotta change some things, and that's what the people want.
I just don't have to bring it to everybody.
I get it, but we'll definitely take care of it, okay?
But things aren't getting done. It takes time. Mr. Patrick, I understand. And you can go through BSNA and look at the record in there and everything that's gone on at D402 Orchard Drive. I don't know if you can look at it, but the township officials can look at it and what's noted in there. And I just updated it today and had a conversation with the township manager, moving forward with what we have to do. So, it is a process. I get it. It is early May. It is wet. The grass is a foot tall. I get all that. Yeah.
For 3 years.
Right. I get it. But you have to go through the process.
Well, it takes 3 years for the process.
I'm not saying it takes 3 years for the process, because towards the end of the season, that grass was cut 2 or 3 times. The invoices, the order was sent in, and it was invoiced, and whether or not he paid that or not, I do not know that. That would be up to the township manager or everybody else.
Okay.
So with that, I'm here for something unrelated. I live at 2034 Bell River Road, and I see on your agenda that you guys have a proposal to rehab the Bell River Pump Station. Over the last 18 years that I have lived in my residence, I have had a problem in my basement 4 times. 2 of the times I had raw sewage in my basement that I had to clean up. 2 of the times I had the DPW call me to see if I had water in basement because their system failed. So I dug into this further. My house was built in 97 and finalized in 98. I was not required to have a backflow preventer in my basement. So my question is to you board members, we need to do something with this Bell River lift station. I should not be the fall guy to say, hey, you got water in your basement because our system failed. So if you guys would like to talk afterwards, I have pictures of what damage was done to my house that I cleaned up. And I had the plumbing inspector over today to tell me, you know, what has to be done. So I can stay after if you guys have any questions. I will feel free to answer them and show you the pictures of the damage to my house.
What are you asking for, Jim?
What I'm asking for is, number one, do something with the Bell River lift station to where it doesn't keep failing or doesn't alarm. And for me to get a phone call and ask, you got water in your
Yep,
basement.
that one's getting handled.
Yeah. The other thing is it wouldn't be a bad idea if we can't do something for a backflow preventer installed in my basement. I do have prices for it from a guy, and that would alleviate the problem that I have right now. Because every time that system goes down, if I'm not home, something's going to happen. I was able to catch it before it got too bad. It was in the shower, the bathroom, and part of the carpet in my basement. So if we could come to some kind of in the middle agreement or something, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Anybody else?
My name's Bill Sabato. We live at 3716 Riverview Terrace North. We were here several months ago in regards to our meter. A new meter was put in, or 2 new meters were put in for the sprinkler system in the house. And once they were put in, we left for vacation, or we left for 2 months. We got back, we got our water bill, and it was extremely high. And I came here and explained that to everybody, that what I do whenever we leave is I shut both, the bottom meter is what does the house. So what I do every time we leave for a vacation or whatever, I shut both those valves on the incoming and outgoing of the meter. I shut those valves, then I drain the whole house down so that there's no, during the winter, so that there's no freeze up on my pipes and burst the pipes.
Good idea.
So I make sure that there's no water running through the house. I came here and nobody had an answer for why the water bill was so high. We did find out that the sprinkler system meter and the house meter was switched. So you guys switched it back, which I wish I wouldn't have said anything. It would have saved me a hell of a lot of money. But anyways, you guys switched it back. And so anyways, my wife and I left on the 12th of January, and we came back on the 9th of February. Did the same thing. Shut both valves, drained down my house, made sure there was no water dripping out of the faucet in the basement. We left. We just got our bill, and it's extremely high. So I called here and explained that to, I forgot who her name is.
Irene.
Yeah, Irene. And Irene said, guess what? We've got data for everyday usage. And she says, I'll send the file to you. I said, great. She goes, there's actually 2 files that I'll send to you. And I go, fantastic. Let me take a look at them. So anyways, she sent in, I think, Vern, you took a look at this data.
I did. And we talked to the company, the meter company too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Good.
Switch the damn meters.
Basically, you have an almost consistent flow the days you were gone. And they said the only way that could happen is with water going through the meter. And I don't know if Blaine got back with you, but we talked about, is it possible that one of the valves wasn't shut off all the way and then it drained down one of your sinks or something for a while? So that's, the last thing he was looking into was that.
Okay, so,
It's
so whenever I,
the same amount of usage
okay,
every day.
so it is and was impossible for any water to go through that meter after I get done closing down the system. It is impossible.
Do you leave that valve where that little tray is, do you leave that open?
Yep.
So
And,
water
and
would
it
go
only,
in there.
and if there's a drip, that's probably all there is for the entire house. So why is it, if you take a look at the data, why is it
crazy.
that
It's wide open.
it's 420, it's, okay, normally on average, 2 people in one house uses about 200 gallons a day. 204, I looked it up, it was 204. Okay, and I'm glad with that. But you take a look at the days that we were gone, and then we come back, and the days that we were gone, it's up to 424 gallons.
Almost exactly.
Yeah.
There we go.
Then it's 424, the next day is 423, the next day is 422, the next day is 425. I don't have anything that runs water for that. That amount of water.
Do you get these same kind of readings when you're there?
What's that?
Do you get these same kind of readings when you're at the house?
No,
Well, you can see the other days are when they're there.
no, here,
That's
I
when they're there,
don't
it's
know,
random.
I don't know if you look at this,
Do you have a sump pump that is a backup, water thing? That's
There's
the only
no-
other time
nope.
that those run like
Nope.
that.
That one that runs, it runs water pressure, sump pump? Okay.
there's nothing, nothing. This is the only way in to the house. This is the only way that water can go into our house, is through this meter. And when I close this valve, and I drain down the entire house through the sinks, and then I get done and make sure, and I drain out this, I know for sure I'm not gonna have a frozen pipe in my house. I know for sure I'm not gonna have any water in my pipe. I'm gonna make sure that there's no water running in through that meter. That's the only way that you can get water through there, is through that meter. And both valves are closed.
Yep, we talked about it last week, and when I looked at this data too, I was like, it's exactly the same every day that you're gone.
Yeah.
So,
And so if you take a look at when we returned,
That's an obvious error of some kind, it's all.
yeah,
If it was
well, the meter
leaking,
company
it'd
said
be
that
like
the only
this.
way that would happen is water went through the meter, but I have to meet with him this week.
well, I'm just explaining this because when we first came here, everybody's like, you're out of your mind. Whatever goes through that meter, that's what you have to pay. That's all there is to it. And I'm like, look, we were gone for 2 months. How can we have a bill that, I think it was like $600 for our water?
The neighbors on both sides of you had no usage for those days you were gone.
Oh, what, they're, so is it just the
Just a
house?
side note.
I just wanted to let you know.
You have 2 meters, one of which is for your sprinkler system.
That's correct.
Does that one have high usage
We're
too,
not-
or
That
just?
one is completely shut off.
It's off for the winter.
Okay.
Yeah,
I go say,
but I
I gotta
gotta,
turn that until maybe another
can you
month.
I gotta
tell the
meet with
difference
them
in
this
your
week and I'll get
bills
back to you.
between which one is being read?
The house meter.
And by serial number, you can tell that is they may think it's the house meter, I'm wondering if they're raising the other
No,
one.
we've already gone
Yeah.
through that the first time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, but if you take a look at the data that given to me, take a look at, this says 117, and on this, it says 117, was 215 gallons, okay, on 117. If you look at this data on 117,
Put in a requested for.
this is two, Irene sent both files, and I don't know what the difference is. But if you take a look at 117, here's 117, it's 427 gallons.
424. It seems to be a very constant number.
So,
That's a
so, no, wait a minute. This data
Yeah.
says 215. This data says 427 for the same day. So, I don't know what's going on with this data and how it's being collected or anything.
Well, you're obviously the only one having the problem. I don't see a reason, Vern, why you
This
can't
is
put
the.
in a
this
request. and
Comes
we'll-
right from the
we'll
meter.
waive all it. And I'm pretty sure the board will go along and waiving all this. And let's get both of them, they get to get the meter changed.
Yeah.
Just whether we think it's bad or not, pull out, put another one in there.
But you can see these spikes too, and I don't
Don't waste the time
understand these
on it.
spikes. You know, it just doesn't make sense. You know,
You stayed in the shower till you ran out of hot water.
Yeah,
Jim, it's me, you can't
I
get
got
a
100 gallon.
can't get water in like that.
We're meeting.
I don't run
We're
out.
supposed to meet Wednesday on this, so I will be getting back with you on this, but I did review all of this
You
already.
did?
Yeah, so.
Yeah, but
And
what
I
I
get-
don't understand is the data here versus the data here. Why is there a
I
difference?
just think that the benchmark thing here is not quite right, because if you look at this,
Yeah,
down one and then up, I think it's
Yeah, I don't-
the date number's just not right. It's the same
Yeah.
number, and then you got two peaks again.
right.
It's just.
Right,
the-
no,
this-
I went back
the-
through
The
and
graph has shifted a little bit.
I went back through and I counted the days. And I counted these days and
This is the
it
only
is
one that's
wrong.
different.
It's different. There should be more days to compare to this. But anyways, take a look at this. This is when we got back, was on the 9th. We got back late at night. How is it that the day before on 208 and then 209, how can we use 500, over 500 gallons?
Put it anytime, we just approve it.
The day before we got
I don't know
back.
what you're doing there.
You know, those meters are wired, the antennas are wired differently, they need to take a look at some of that, 'cause that
Could
looks
be a
like,
decimal
that looks like a
too.
constant signal. Whether it has anything to do with the what the meters are not, it looks like we're getting a constant
But
signal
we're
showing
supposed to
that
talk
the
about it
daggone
Wednesday, and I'll
meter
get
is
back with
being
you.
running.
I've got all
That could be
your,
a
I
electronic-
have it all.
You have
Switch
it?
it out.
Could have nothing to do with water, it's
We should just
electronic.
swap out the meter
You know,
and
you
see.
know, the bill is due on the 20th. So if you can get back to me, you know, we were not home. I've got receipts and everything that will show that we were down in Florida.
Maybe
Squatters,
someone's in your
squatters.
house. Yeah, I'd say someone
They use
broke into your
exactly the
house.
same amount of gallons every day too.
You have a basement, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to make sure we've had.
You'll
One
hear
case
from
we
us by
found
the end of the week though.
10, 15,000
Crawl space.
under a
Can I
house.
keep
Yeah.
And this is
In your
the
basement,
arrangement.
okay, so.
This is the sprinkler.
You would know if you had 10,000 gallons in your basement.
Yeah, I think I would.
I'm gonna keep this.
We had a guy that had it under his house and didn't know.
All right, thank you. We'll
Okay,
be in
thanks a
touch.
lot. I
Yeah, we'll be in
appreciate
touch
it.
this week though.
Vern,
Thank you.
that's an electric problem.
Yeah.
That's an electric problem. There's something in the
Couldn't be that.
That's something,
I can talk to you.
it's flat like that. But unless you find out what the problem is, you're changing the meters or something.
Yeah.
He's gonna get it again.
Yeah.
Well, first off, just realize, we're not crazy.
Right, yeah, I know.
When we came here the first time, you guys were like, yeah, right, give me a break.
Well, I'm
Always-
surprised that they
Always something.
billed you, when given that data of being a flat line like that for several months, it's, you can't, that's
Yeah.
that's an electrical malfunction, or you would get a little jiggle at least. You would get, getting something flat like that, that's,
But the average two people in one house is on average in the United States is 204 gallons.
you can't live in a house and have a water bill that comes up.
That consistent.
Right, no.
Yeah.
Can't use exactly what you want.
Exactly.
Time your showers, I guess, I don't know. but-
We don't know if any of the other days are wrong or, you know.
Now, thanks for coming, but yeah, we've been looking on it. We're talking Wednesday on this particular one.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, consent agenda. C1, departmental reports. C2 is Park Commission March 2024 meeting minutes. C3 is Marine City Area Fire Authority April report. C4, lot split board April minutes. Comments, questions? If not, entertain motion to approve.
I have a question on the Park Commission meeting minutes. Page 1 says Park Manager report none, and I see she was not at the meeting. But then when you go down into the minutes, under old business, it has B, C, D, and E for all the parks. It says refer to the Park Manager's report, but there wasn't one.
Right, so I can answer to that.
Okay.
This park manager report within the top of the meeting would be her verbal report,
Okay.
and the other sections are considered part of their agenda packets that they would be referring to in their minutes.
Okay.
So there's a
but-
physical paperwork that's in their packet.
Okay, but when we're having minutes, shouldn't, and if it says refer to the Park Manager's report, shouldn't it be attached to the minutes or be explained in the minutes?
Well, I can have the new recording secretary make an indication referred to park manager's report, which is part of the agenda packet.
Because this gets published and not always the agenda.
Yeah, we can have her
so-
just put in parentheses, agenda packet item, or something.
I don't know if it really helps give information.
I don't think that's
but-
what she asked, because if it's mentioned in here that you
Yeah.
should refer to they ought to be attached on the back.
Right, well, so the way I would read the minutes is that what was happened during the meeting was they were referring to the park manager report, and that's how it was reported. The minutes aren't necessarily written for an outside observer, they're a, detailed account of what happened at the meeting.
Well, maybe
So-
it just should have a general thing then, instead of saying refer to
Okay,
something.
yeah, these minutes were done by their recording secretary, not the new record. So it was kind of the in-between where we were trying to piece it together from a few different
Okay.
perspectives.
If the manager's report that's written is not too long, it would be easy managed to make it an attachment to the minutes. And nobody has to type anything additional.
Well, I don't see any other commission or board doing that in the minutes, so I'd rather it be consistent.
True.
Yeah.
So just changing how they record it, we can do that.
If there's nothing else, I'd entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Mr. Knotts? Support. Mr. Richley? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Disbursements, Ms. Hart.
Disbursements, we have payroll in the amount of $71,928.55. Accounts payable, $487,728.33. EFTs, $73,241.12. E-checks, $604.60. Tax account had a deduction of $637.50, and invoices, $120,209.82, for a grand total of $753,074.92. I'll make a motion to pay the bills in that amount.
Support.
Been moved by Ms. Hart, supported by Mr. Knotts. Any other questions? Clerk, please call the roll.
Treasurer Hart?
Yes.
Trustee Babel?
Yes.
Trustee Blackstock?
Yes.
Trustee Knotts?
Yes.
Trustee Richley?
Yes.
Clerk Smith, yes. Supervisor Westrick?
Yes. I don't have any unfinished old business, new business. Township Hall office hours. Smith?
As you are aware, our office opens in the morning at 8:30 and we close at 4 o'clock. Previous years, we were open at 8 o'clock till 4:30. I would like us to change our office hours back to the original 8 to 4:30 for residents to be able to come in, people on their way to work before 9 o'clock. I just think it's more convenient for people that are working. Our staff is here during those hours, getting paid. So I feel that for customer service, we should be open for business.
I'm sorry, you just confused me there. Are you, The staff is here anyway, but the office isn't open, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Is the office open at 9 o'clock?
8:30,
Okay. Now it opens at 8:30
closed at 4.
and closes at 4. And you want to do what? Open at 8?
Change it back the way it used to be, like in 2018,
And it was what?
8 AM to 4:30 PM. We opened
Now
at
it's
8.
8:30 to 4. I'm used,
Staff
I'm
is
getting
still
a half
here.
an hour out here someplace.
Staff is
Yeah.
still
Half
here
hour
at
before
8
and
o'clock.
Half hour
it
after.
Closes to,
I'm sorry.
basically the staff comes in and gets things ready to go before they open the door. They, to get settled in, they'd have a half hour after they get here before they open the door to the public. And they close the public at 4, and then at 4:30, they have all the desks basically cleaned up and everything else, and then punch out 4:30.
It sounded to me the way you put up that you're asking the employees to spend an extra half hour. That's what's getting
No.
me.
No,
They're already here.
they come here at 8 to 4:30, but they don't open the doors to public till 8:30, and then they close them at 4. So there's a half hour before and a half hour after that. They're here that we're not open to public.
So they can come at 8:30 instead of 8 o'clock and wait a half hour open.
Well,
and
then
is
they'd
that
only
what
be
you're saying?
working 7 hours instead of 8.
If they're here, they're working.
Want to comment on this?
Nope.
I didn't think so.
I don't care, whatever you guys want.
Are
It
they
sounds silly.
that busy that
No,
they can't be opened at 8 o'clock in the morning, trying to get stuff situated? and
no.
Then I don't see a problem with.
opening at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
No.
Good, what do you think?
And
thing
anything
that
that's
I-
gonna help our township people out, to have it available longer.
I had emails from all of the staff about this.
Okay.
The amount of traffic that comes to the office after COVID is significantly reduced. They've even cut the receptionist hours
Yes.
down by a couple because
Right.
there's maybe one person.
The traffic is
that
about a
comes
third
at 8:30 in the
what it
morning,
used to
and
be
and there's very
in
few
the
people
office.
after 4 o'clock.
Correct.
So they basically said that, to get their things out, get things going, instead of having someone stand there at the front door ready to go,
Not a lemonade stand.
Which is no longer the case.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
does the township manager have a recommendation?
No, the only thing I can say is if somebody walks in the door at 4:29, there will be someone having to stay a little overtime, and that's the only thing.
And I don't.
Do you have a recommendation on what
It doesn't
hours
happen
would,
in a blue
you would,
moon.
that would be preferred for the township?
No, I think that the way that it is how our staff has been working, but if the township board wants to change that, that's up to you.
Is there, okay, why do we want to change it?
And we haven't had any complaints of people that I know.
I don't know why we changed it in the first place in 2019 or whatever,
I can tell you
when
that.
it happened.
That was during COVID, when we had to do cleanup and clean, everything before it opened to the public, and then clean it before. And we just started utilizing that as our norm and having some prep time and having an opportunity to close the cashier down and not have to wait until the very last minute to cash out. So that's all I have to say about that.
Ellen?
There's no
Yeah.
practical purpose to being
Not
closed
open,
for a half hour in the beginning of the day and the half hour at the end of the day.
The only thing I'll say, I'm obviously not in the office every day, but the times that I've been in there.
Hope not.
Yeah, but the times that I have been in there reading through the minutes and stuff like that, like hours at a time, there's maybe 3 people that come in. And it's kind of like toward the end of the shift, that's, I guess, the concern that I have is the overtime that would be potential, which, again,
5 minutes,
but just
it was
There's
a
one-
rarity.
There's one person that has to cash out the drawer or count it at the end of the night out of the 3 or possibly 4 that are in the office. So somebody could attend to the customer and someone, who counts the drawer, counts the drawer. I don't see, and again, the traffic is not that much, but it is a perk and we are paying them to be open to the public.
Yeah, and the other thing is that, like, just comparing other communities, they're not open, well, I understand, but I mean, just comparing
What's
their
the
hours.
average time that they open?
They're kind of goofy, it's kind of goofy, like the hours in comparison, but I don't know, I say why fix something that's not broken.
I'm not here personally at 8 o'clock or 8:30 or 4
Right.
o'clock, so I refer that back to the township manager to make the best decision on that time, so I have no opinion on it, so,
Was it you that brought this, Cindy?
no.
Okay.
Sandy, and she has to have that on the agenda.
Or come in, I'll make a motion that we leave them exactly the same as they are right now. Don't see any reason to make a change.
I'll support that.
Okay. That moved by Mr. Knotts and supported by Mr. Richley to make no change to the township hall office hours. I see we're gonna have a yes and no here, so call the roll, please.
Treasurer Hart,
No.
trustee Bebo,
No.
trustee Blackstock.
No.
Clerk Smith, no. Trustee Natz,
Yes.
trustee Richley,
Yes.
supervisor Westrick.
Yes. So that motion failed.
You need the next one, which is real easy. Somebody else will have to make it though.
I'll make a motion that we open the office to the public, 8 AM to 4:30, Monday through Friday.
I'll support.
That moved by Ms. Smith, supported by Ms. Babel. Call the roll.
Roll call vote. Clerk Smith, yes. Treasurer Hart,
Yes.
trustee Babel,
Yes.
trustee Blackstock.
Yes.
Trustee Richley,
No.
trustee Natz,
Yes.
supervisor Westrick.
No.
Okay.
Change of heart in 30 seconds. I like it. New business 2 annual newsletter. Ms. Smith?
In the past, we used to put out two newsletters, I want to say 2 newsletters a year. The expenses at this point, I don't know, we do bulk mail, probably $1,000, $1,200 to do a mailing for a newsletter. I was thinking we might want to reintroduce that as a source of information, to get information out to the residents. And I wanted to have a board discussion if you think that's a good use of our funds, or should we not go there, or maybe once a year? This year, we have so many dates with all the elections coming and the early voting dates, and there's just so much going on. Communication about the water and sewer lines, restoration, picnic, you name it.
So how much does it cost to mail one out?
I would say it used to be around $1,000, probably 1,200 or so.
Next question, who's gonna put it together?
I offered to take the lead on that,
So you'll
because I used to do it in the past.
put the newsletter together? Mail it?
Gather information from all the departments and do that. If you feel
I
that
support
it's a
it.
good communication tool.
I would support that. I mean, even though everything is on the website.
Yeah, that's what I was
basically,
thinking, it's kind of
but
overcome.
Hey, our new
But
sign's
I
gonna
think
save the world.
it's
It's gonna have
nice,
everything on there.
Yeah.
Our residents that don't get onto the website and, you know, a lot of them are older and they don't do
Right.
that type thing. I would like to see something like that at least once a year to even go into some of the things that we've gotten accomplished. Not necessarily what's all coming up and what's going on, but certain things that have been accomplished and,
Even a lot of the things we
Yeah.
changed in the cemetery,
yeah,
just updated that.
yeah.
I had suggested we utilize the back of the tax bill, or even a mailing with the tax bill. Everybody gets a tax bill. And then we also have the new sign that's going up where we can put election dates and information
That's
like
stuff
that.
that's more current though.
Yeah,
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 and
to save some money, I don't know.
I think, you know, at least once a year to
I would go
state
once
what's
a year.
been going on in the township and. that's
Any
my
other
thoughts.
discussion?
My only thing, the average age of our township is like 65, so I mean, most people read,
Where'd you get that information?
most people read, you know, like their mail and stuff like that versus going on the internet for stuff, so.
Right.
Not a lot of people go on our, nope, not a lot of people go to our
Walk
website.
around like this all day long.
Yeah. So, that's my 2 cents.
Okay.
How many people got a phone in their pocket right now? There's only one person in the whole room's got a phone with them.
It's only because we're sitting at this table that we don't have it in our pocket.
It's right here.
Oh, you go. Not in your pocket, though.
No.
All right, well, I'll make a motion that we start with one newsletter a year.
Annual newsletter, when
Annual
would you put that
newsletter.
out?
I would say early summer would be the target date.
All right.
At this point, we're looking at July.
Okay, is there support for that?
Support.
Mr. Rieflin?
Amend that to be the township clerk taking the lead on this project.
She's gonna put,
She just said that.
You can let me
yeah, she's
know
gonna
if you need
put the
help.
newsletter together and mail it out.
Thank you.
Are we putting a top dollar amount on it, or?
No, whatever,
Just call-
we'll see what it is now. It's hard to say at this
Yeah.
point. It's been so long since we've done it.
When the
Right.
postage rates are going up in June,
Right.
so, yeah.
But we do
That's
get
what I'm
bulk
saying.
rate mail. We have a permit, so we take it.
It's been moved and supported. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Well, if you're spending money, don't you have to?
We don't know what we're spending yet. We can move it later. New business 3, township picnic. This one?
What are the thoughts on the township picnic this year? Move forward with that as we have in the past?
I think so.
It's usually the second Saturday, I believe, in September normally. And I also, I offered to take the lead on that, get that going.
Again, if you need help, I will.
Okay,
Step
Try it
up
for
too.
one more year.
very good,
Yeah.
thank you.
Might as well.
So what's the
What
date?
date are we saying?
It's usually the second Saturday in September.
Yeah, the date was proposed on the Recreation Committee Advisory list, and that was like the 14th or something, whatever that
Second Tuesday and
Saturday.
Saturday and,
Second Saturday.
Okay,
So it is in the budget, as it has been.
it is, all right, okay. Okay,
all right, moving on.
move forward with that.
New business 4, Yo and Yo invoice approval. And, I think Ralph made some comment earlier, but this is for services to get our audit done, and they were shocked when they got here. How's that? I don't know how else to put it. It took an extensive amount of work to repair things, and Cindy, can you elaborate a little bit on that? But we went over this in detail. They gave us exactly what they did for this quarter hour, this half hour, and everything else, so, basically, a lot of stuff that wasn't being done right, they had to get done and changed around, and so this is the hourly bill that we have, that we're stuck with. So,
Over and above,
yeah,
for 60 hours of CPA assistance.
It's the professional services part that's the only part that we haven't already approved.
Correct.
And since we told them, I think we approved the use of professional services when we told the township manager to take charge of it.
no,
I have no objection to how she split out the money for a couple of good reasons. And comes out of some different funds. And something we needed to do, and we have a little bit more complicated system, financial system than a lot of townships, because we run a sewer and water plant with a separate water and sewer authority that has complete operational control, except the water authority uses East China's personnel to operate it, including all our administrative. So I'm not surprised that when somebody finally got into it and that looked at how it's being kept, that there were some changes that needed to be made.
since nobody had really looked at it for a long, long time. So I have no problem with it.
Is that a motion to approve?
I would make a motion that we approve, and also have been recently told that professional services is a one-time shot. Don't be looking at that every year.
That's my question. Does this remedy the issues now? Does this bring our
I was
system
gonna
up to
say, is
date?
there gonna be another, yeah.
We engaged the other company, like, what was the name of it?
The Woodhill Group. So they're assisting our staff with picking up where our auditors left off, which was in a really good place, but they still did the heavy lifting. We need to now know how to do that next year. So there is that learning curve that we have a separate engagement with
But
an
it's
accountant.
training,
Correct.
essentially.
Yep.
This fixes the
This
issues
is,
we've had.
yes, this was the actual work
So
to
we're up-
get the
We're up
audit.
to speed.
Yeah, and now there's additional training that we approved at the other meeting to get our bookkeeper
Separate
to
company.
be doing it right. That is correct.
Is the intent to also have this company do the water sewer authority next year? Because I know that was another complicated issue for them since they were not doing that part of the books.
I don't know.
That would be up to the authority. We
No,
haven't
well,
finished.
When you guys are authority here, you hire an auditor here at the township, they gotta be able to do that.
We have no changes as of right now. I'm not even sure how far along in the audit of the authority they are at this point. The UHY was still the auditor of record for the authority, because
Yeah,
they were
this
not.
year,
they did
UHY
not
is doing
send
it.
out,
Well, our authority,
requests
these
for
guys didn't do
proposals.
it. I would prefer that the same company that were, I brought it up once
yes.
before, was there a problem with the township side of the house to having two auditors working on the same books at the same time? And I'm
Right.
told, no. So in that case, I'll keep the auditor that we got for the authority, and you guys have that, and they'll both be in there working together. But I think will cost us a little extra money because they're going to be duplicating some things. I would prefer that the single auditor be used for both. I think it would be cheaper
I agree.
Yes,
overall for both of us.
yeah.
That's just the way I
That's the
talk.
point I was
Right.
getting at.
Well, then for auditor for next year, have the sewer and water authority request that we get a quote from Yo and Yo to do that.
If this company can do it, I don't know what,
Yeah.
you know, ours is a little different, you know, when they audit in money, they gotta audit water.
We just need an official request from the authority
It's a
to
little
do
bit
it.
different, you know, it doesn't fit
Right.
in their wallet.
So,
But if they can do that without a problem, I don't see any reason to have two different companies, but you need to
Yeah.
address that next year.
So was that a motion to approve, Ralph, you said?
I will, approve what we have here. with-
$26,860?
$26,860.
Been moved by Mr. Knopf, is there support?
Support.
Smith? Okay, any questions or comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Roll call vote. Clerk Smith, yes. Treasurer Hart?
Yes,
Trustee Babel?
Yes.
Trustee Blackstock?
Yes.
Trustee Netz?
Yes.
Trustee Richley?
Yes.
Supervisor Wister?
Yes. New business 5, proposal for the Bell River Pump Station rehab. This is the congressional spending grant that we were noticed that we just got from Stabile on Peter's office. $294,000 of assistance to fix that pump station, just down the road from Jim. It's a 75-25 grant. It's federal. FEMA is going to be the group that administers it, which is a federal entity, which tells you exactly how much red tape there will be. But anyway, we discussed it amongst our supervisors of the departments and whatnot, and felt that we would like to accept the proposal of a different engineering firm for this project. AEW has given us a proposal for this. I feel it's what we should do as well. And the proposal is the last page of this group here. What we're going to approve is everything but the construction costs, because that's estimated, but the engineers got a topo survey, and then engineering, construction observation, staking, contract administration, and material testing is all percentages listed there.
Anybody add those up so we could have a number? I didn't.
No,
I was just reading it.
it's gonna change, Ralph, because it's a percentage, based on the actual construction cost, so we can approve the percentages. We're also approving just the assistance of this company with this 56-page sub-application, I believe they called it, because the Michigan State Police has to administer this. They're the only person that can accept funds in the state of Michigan from the federal government for this, for FEMA. So we have to fill this out, and we're gonna need assistance too. So they've given us an hourly price for that, and the sheet's in here attached. Based on whoever we're having do the work, it's just gonna be an hourly to help us fill that application out to get us running. So we're gonna approve that and those percentages right there for the services. And I would make a motion that we use AEW Incorporated for these services as demonstrated and shown on these 2 pages here.
Okay, well, the FEMA grant acceptance is an hourly charge based, okay, it's an hourly charge. They didn't-
Yeah, to get us to the point that
They did
the
not.
application's done.
Otherwise,
We don't know how long that's
specify
gonna
how many
take.
hours it's gonna take. Okay, and their hourly rates over there.
So we
You
need a
wanna-
motion to engage
I
their
did.
services.
Yeah,
First of all?
I made the motion.
Engage their
Support.
services for the preparation of the grant and to approve their services, the cost of their engineering services or the percentages
That's shown, right?
as shown on their preliminary estimate, I guess.
Yes.
The topographical survey is the only one that
It's
is,
a lump sum, right?
topographical survey is the only one they have as specific. That's $3,800.
Yeah, it's $3,800. Engineering's 9%, construction observation or inspection is 5.5%, staking is 2%, contract administration 2%, and material testing is 1.5%. And a lot of those are an estimate. They are billed hourly of what you need, so they could be more or less, but that's the budget that they give us. Again, I made the motion to approve that, and is there support for that?
I'll support.
Mr. Richley? Any other questions or comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Roll call vote, Clerk Smith, yes. Treasurer Hart?
Yes.
Trustee Babel?
Yes.
Trustee Beckstein?
Yes.
Trustee Net?
Yes.
Trustee Richley?
Yes.
Supervisor Wister?
Yes. All right, thank you. New business 6, Bridge to Bay Trail continuation crossing at Bree Road. This is from the Regional Trails Board of Directors, the committee. Jim Beer was here at the last meeting, talking about the plan. He's shown us on this map here what they think that they'd like to have us approve the location of, and then they're gonna apply for grants and everything like that. So I guess I see no problem with where it crosses, because it's like a crosswalk. By moving it down farther, then you're crossing a highway in the middle.
Yeah.
It's gonna have to stay on the right of way, obviously, which I told them, so this drawing might not be completely accurate. But I guess we just need to all agree that that's okay for them to put it there and move forward with getting the grants. They're gonna take care of the design and that stuff, so,
Makes the most sense.
yeah.
I have a little, I don't understand the route. The only thing they showed us is how they're going to get across Bree, and it just sort of ends at Maine. Do they intend to go on down Maine? Do they intend to go up to Riverside?
They're going to
I
that-
don't understand.
First street there, I think, is it Tasman?
The first street there is Maine. On the
No, that's-
picture you have, it shows that they're extending the path across Bree,
Mm-hmm.
making a left turn and stopping at Main Street.
That's not Maine, is it?
Yes, that's Main Street.
Okay. I thought
Now-
that was Tasman, but,
Riverside is the next block up, the next long block.
right, right,
Now, if you stay on Main Street long enough, it curves into Riverside,
right.
well beyond Manor Park.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, what are they intending to do? That's-
Signage for the rest of it. They're not putting the path, installing an actual path.
I still don't answer my question. Okay, where are they gonna put the signs?
Along that
What
main
streets?
line.
What streets? That's what I'm looking at.
Well, that
All
part
this is the
isn't us.
crossing of
This
Blue
is,
Road.
this is Main Street, does
Doesn't
it?
talk about anything beyond that.
Yeah, this is Main Street, it's gonna go up Main Street to South Riverside, and then down South Riverside to, oh, what's the one that, if you go west, it hits Collection Park right there.
Yeah, it's Clark, yeah.
I don't know that street that you turn left on, and then it goes down Goff Street toward, into St. Clair.
Doesn't say that, that's what I was
No.
kinda wondering. All right.
No, because this is just our portion of it.
Well, it's our portion. Our
And
This
portion
is the only
going up
portion
here.
of
Yeah.
construction that we're gonna do, the rest is just gonna be a noted
Yeah.
No
route.
problem.
Everybody okay
So
with
what do
that?
we want
Yep.
to do?
Do we need a motion or
Yeah,
no?
yeah,
To accept their recommendation?
of that location,
I'll make
right.
that a motion.
So Ms. Smith, support by Mr. Blackstock, is that right? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? New business 7, adopt adjusted wage schedule for seasonal DPW employees. This is obviously something we do every year.
Actually, this hasn't been done since 2020.
Oh,
That's,
this is something we do every 4 years, whether we need it or not.
I'll make a motion that we
Is this the
change the pay rates for the seasonal DPW and township employees as presented at NB7. Starting wages would be 12, will now be 12, after 1 year 13, 2 years 12, 14, after 3 years 15, after 4 years 16, after 5+ years 17.
Support.
So moved and supported, any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay, announcements, curbside chipping on May 8th. Don't know about that. Not put it on your calendar. Any other comments from the board? Go ahead.
So Park Appreciation Day was this last Saturday. I want to thank all the volunteers, residents, people that showed up. It was really awesome. Got a lot of stuff done, mulch put out there and stuff. And thank you to Cindy and Deanna both for all the work that they did, and the other employees that were there, or employee, I should say, but it was very nice. Hopefully more people show up next year. I toured the water plant facility with Travis, and it was very interesting. I'm ashamed to say it's the first time I've ever done that. Should have done it a lot sooner, but it was very interesting. Thank you to him and his staff for all the info and putting up with all my questions. I was very impressed with the setup that they.
You got out alive.
Yeah.
He's going to the sewer plant next, though, so he's not gonna.
He tried throwing.
Next time, I'm a little doubtful about that.
He tried throwing me in one of the holes, but, you know, we won't talk about that. But anyway, couple of other things, but the earlier discussion about the water bill, is that something we're gonna talk about the next meeting?
You'll have to put
Yeah.
some, you'll have to put a request in.
We're gonna
Okay.
do a
And
couple
then we'll
different
know
things there,
exactly
but,
how much and da. We have to approve it.
I don't know, how much is?
We have to formally approve whatever it is.
Right.
Yeah,
They figure that out. They'll tell us what it is.
yeah.
Is that something that's gonna be retroactive to the one before as well, or can we do
No,
that?
because it was determined at the last one
Yeah,
that it was the season. It was for the it was averaged for the season.
Yeah, we don't know.
It was the answer that came at the end.
What,
Why it
the only
didn't
thing
get
that might
approved.
happen is you might have to pay that bill, because the board won't be able to approve the actual credit. You might have to pay the bill, and then it would be a credit back to you, I'm not sure.
Credit back
I
on
gotta
the
figure it
bill.
out.
Yeah.
Unless you guys wanna make it, allow me to.
We can,
or we can,
postpone it.
Did they already pay the other bill?
No,
how large is the bill? I don't know. offhand.
I'm sorry?
How large is the bill?
The bill
Yeah.
is 400 and some now. I've got it here.
Okay,
I can approve that.
It's,
yeah.
it's normally around 300.
It should come to the board.
This one is
Yeah.
479.
It should go through the agenda.
But they'll have to pay the,
When's the next meeting?
you may have to pay the bill, but you'll get a credit on the next one. If that's not a big problem, let me know, but, we ran into that once before.
Okay, but what I'm concerned about, and I thank you for saying that, but what I'm concerned about is, what's gonna happen. Is
We're
there?
gonna change the meter, I believe is what we decided.
Yeah.
Okay.
Change the meters,
And then-
one thing they're
Yeah.
gonna do is change the meters and keep an eye on it.
What our water usage is.
Yes, and then we can adjust accordingly, yeah.
What's interesting
It's
is.
just hard when there's a penalty coming up if you don't pay it, and then that adds to it, so it would all.
It's in the computer.
No, I'm fine with paying
Yeah.
it and knowing that you
Yeah.
guys are looking into it.
Yes.
What's interesting is the fact that
Right.
you don't have the problem when you're there.
Well, we don't know what problem we have when we're there, because we never questioned it when we were there.
Right.
So we don't know if
But
what
the,
it's saying
but the
we're
readings for
using
when
is
you were
right.
there are very typical. The
Pardon?
readings for when you were there are very typical for two people in a house.
No.
From when it was reinstalled.
No, there's some days that spikes quite a bit,
Even when we're here,
even
when we're in
here.
town, you can see like a
Okay.
400 usage and a 200. Well,
Yeah, it goes
What
170, it goes
Yeah.
175, then it goes 400, and then it
It
goes
could just be a bad
one-
neighborhood.
That's typical,
180.
Yeah.
a lot of people save to do their laundry on the weekend, and they do the laundry or something like that.
Yeah.
That can vary a little bit like that.
that's
We've seen that.
$600
That's
is a
not
lot of
unusual
laundry,
for
come on.
reading.
absolutely, but when you have a reading that is so not normal, do you question the one that is considered normal?
Yeah.
Like, is there some correlation?
I think they need a new
But
meter.
we'll get it worked out
and
this
see
way.
what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
If you take a look at
That's what I said.
3/2,
We're gonna put a new
on
meter.
March 2nd, that day, I checked our bills and everything, and we were gone that day on 3/2, and you could see how it spiked up. So I don't know what happened there. I don't know.
Be interesting to
Power
find
surge or
out.
something. I
What,
don't know.
just a quick explanation, you talked about it a little bit earlier, there's, the date that's loaded into that data logger might not be accurate. It might be off by 2 days,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? That's why that shifted a little bit.
Yeah, it shouldn't be though.
Yeah, it doesn't update to the
Just
atomic clock.
Just out of
It's-
curiosity, do you have
It's not that
a security system that operates on frequency? I mean, in other words, it records or cameras that send data to something to keep track of your a company? There's something that you would turn on when you're not there?
No,
Okay.
we just turn everything
This
off.
sounds like, looks
No
like an
security
electrical
system,
problem.
yeah. I think it's getting
The only other thing.
Put another meter in there and find out.
You had to
Yeah,
bring that up.
The only other thing that I have, since we have a bunch of people here, we are looking for people to serve on, we have different boards and commissions and stuff like that we have vacancies on. The Historical Commission, the Park Commission, I believe the Planning Commission, I'm not
There's
sure.
one open.
Well, everybody that's here gets appointed to one of those.
But I mean, if anybody is interested,
I
we're
was gonna
looking,
ask what kind of situations, volunteer type scenarios or, 'cause, yes.
I mean, if you're
I
interested in
yes,
that,
but yes.
let us know.
There's a form that you can fill out, that's online even, and just send it in,
Let me
yeah.
ask you a question.
Yeah.
You had
They're on our
mentioned that
website, too.
volunteers
Mm-hmm.
helped over the weekend. Is there a marquee out front that says volunteers needed for?
There will be
There will
soon.
be.
We're working on the marquee
That
business.
sign going in next week.
Very
That
soon.
New sign up front that's got.
Pretty soon, we got electrical and flashing on and on.
Yeah.
It's gonna go,
Yeah.
the
Bells
sign's
and
gonna be
whistles.
installed next week.
Yes.
That's all I got.
You sure?
Yep.
Positive.
No.
Mr. Knott? Anything?
No. I'm good.
If not, I entertain a motion.
So moved. I'll make a motion to adjourn 8:13.
Been moved by Mr. Richley, is there support?
Support.
Ms. Babel, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, we're adjourned, thank you.